and then some alien demon wires in the brain of a cow and releases them back into humanity, and there's no consequences for more than half of humanity losing its capacity to have any kind of reasoning. And it just becomes so abstract that that's, to me, and just my perspective, right? And I'll certainly give you the last word. It just feels very disrespectful to philosophy, because none of this is going to help people make decisions about how to better treat animals in the real world, because it is becoming increasingly obtuse and manufactured and contradictory and kind of ridiculous.
Whoa,
And I think that's just a
contradictory.
real shame. I think we had a real opportunity to, and part of that's me, right? I could have been more assertive and just say, no, let's start talking about actual animal rights in the real world, because we do have to make decisions about how to maximize the quality of life of animals and so on. But yeah, I think it's a bit of a wasted opportunity, and that's, on you, and certainly partly on me, because I could have said, no, let's start talking about the real world, because I sort of thought we were going to get to the end of the abstract thing but now it's been almost 2 hours, and we've never got anywhere close to things that happen in the real world that we need to make decisions about. So yeah, it's disappointing for me and frustrating for me, and that's going to happen. But yeah, enough for me. That's it for me, and I'm going to close off. But I'm certainly happy to give you the last word.
Okay, all right. Well, I think that there's some unfairness there. So one thing I do want to ask, if you don't want to reply, then I'll just continue. But what is the contradiction? If there's a contradiction, then what's the set of proposition and negation that are involved in any of those hypotheticals?
Well, the impossibility of the hypotheticals, right? Because you had to manufacture supernatural elements like wizards and demons in order to make your hypotheticals work, which is why I said in this impossible scenario, which it is. So yeah, it's
Right.
just
Wait. Sorry. Sorry.
if
That's
you
not a
need to,
contradiction.
if you need the Gandalf principle to win the argument, you need to rethink your argument.
Wait 1 second. We have a basic problem here about just like basic logic
No,
stuff.
no, no.
So,
I'm not getting back into the debate, because this is 2 hours
okay.
out of my life.
Okay.
So just you can have the last word, and then
Okay. Well, look, you sound frustrated, and my intent isn't to frustrate you, so no harshness, no shade. When you say that there's a contradiction, okay, a contradiction is a set of propositions, P and not P, and I have not seen any evidence that there's a contradiction. So I'll just, if you want to point it out, you're welcome to. If you don't, I can just continue with my closing.
No, I have, and people know what they are. So go ahead.
Okay, I think that there's some confusion. You maybe think that like impossible and contradictory are like the same or something. Like contradiction is when you have proposition P and not P. Like the sky is blue, and it's not the case that the sky is blue. And none of my hypotheticals have involved a contradiction. As for, abstract reasoning, or like the kind of reasoning that I'm engaging in being in some way like useless, like, no, I think that this is how we get to the fundamentals with moral philosophy. I think that it's very important to engage in hypotheticals. And you can find tons of context in philosophy. Like when you're talking about free will, people give hypotheticals like if there's just like a dark puppet master controlling you, like would you blame this person? And someone doesn't respond to that by going like, well, like how would the strings function exactly? And where would this puppet master be located? That's not how you're meant to engage with a hypothetical in philosophy. If there were actually a contradiction in the hypothetical such that you could say the hypothetical is illogical, that would be a basis for taking issue with it. But I don't think that there's anything contradictory. Now, with respect to the actual debate, I think what's happened is essentially I've run Name the Trait. I've asked for a stack of traits. We've got species normality on ability to engage in abstract moral reasoning, inability to reproduce, and lack of a cure. I've been putting reductios to Stefan, but he's been sort of spitting the reductios back at me in such a way that there is some kind of like